inside you. This set of ice and fire, what blood red death, lust and desire, smell of life.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Live and direct. Whole Damn Enchilada Podcast. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to my co-host, Ryan Inman. Yeah. It's already off to a better start than yesterday with the wrestling podcast. We're actually on where we're supposed to be on. There's somebody has commented already. Like, see, we're off to a great start. This is great. What's up, Karen? How you doing? Yeah. So yeah, this is good. Yesterday was a shit show, but we're fixing that all up. But this is good, and we've had a year's worth of practice on this.
That's right.
That's probably why it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we had our. I was while you were in Florida. I came to the realization that we were celebrating our 1-year anniversary doing this.
That's right. I saw that actually my last day in Florida. I woke up and saw that in our memories.
Right on. Yeah. Not bad for we just figured out before we went on June 16th. I think was our first live video.
Yeah.
And then before that, for a couple months, we were doing these only on Spotify because I couldn't figure out how to do the iTunes because I'm slow with the technology. But now we're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on your sister's ass.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
No
escape. What's up, Bill? Right on, man. So you how was your vacay? You didn't go back to work today, right?
No, I don't go back to work till Monday, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
I still got 4 more days off.
I'm going back to work in about an hour. I gotta get 7 Lyft rides in tonight to hit this stupid bonus, and then and also to get money to go to see Ghostbusters tomorrow at the drive-in, where I have my my free pizza from last year from winning the costume contest with the guy behind me over there.
Yeah.
So should be fun.
This light keeps bugging me. That's why I keep moving my.
Well, you look good.
Bothering me.
What's that tops thing on your camera there? What is that? Got some baseball cards there?
Yeah. Yeah, I bought some cards last week.
You get anything good?
Good, yeah, great. No.
Oh, right on.
They don't even put an autograph in a hobby box anymore, man.
Yeah, it used to be 1 per box.
Yeah, even just regular old tops, man. No autograph.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, it just goes to show you how much of the fucking things they're printing now if they can't even slide one autograph into every box. Printing so many of them, man. Not like the 80s, but a lot.
I think a lot of these people that are buying these cards for absurd amounts of money are going to be really disappointed in a few years.
It depends on what they are.
I don't know. I don't think these like $1 million Tom Brady cards are going to be $1 million Tom Brady cards in a few years.
I do because they're finite in supply, and graded versions, there's just so few that are graded 9s or 10s. It's not like any more are just going to show up, you know? Yeah,
but the ones that are out there are going to be wherever they're going to be. So if that guy wants to sell them, I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to drop drastically in value. I don't think they're going to be garbage where you can want to throw them out, but I don't think they're going to hold $1 million values.
I think they are, man. The proof is in the pudding with that Mickey Mantle auction from like last summer.
Are we talking about a Mickey Mantle from the 60s though, right?
52 tops.
Yeah, that's a different story. I think those will. I think these modern cards that are like one of ones and one of, I don't think those are going to hold.
Well, Tom Brady auto rookies, he only did 100 of those. I forget the select or whatever it was. There's only 100 of them. And only like 6 or 7 of them are rated 9s or 10s. Those 6 or 7 cards are never going to lose value.
Yeah, this particular card was a 1 of 1, and it wasn't a rookie card. It sold for like $1.5 million at auction, and the same type of card, a Baker Mayfield, sold for almost $1 million.
That's crazy.
And they're like, and imagine, he ends up busting out or something. Like, he's had 1 foot in the bust water his whole career.
See, now like. A lot of these, these 1-of-1 logo mans and whatever it is, it's a huge gamble. But look, dude, the guy that has the 1-of-1 Patrick Mahomes patch logo, the 1-of-1
Yeah.
from his rookie year, he paid $40,000 for it. He could get $5 million for that card now.
Yeah, and he should. He should tomorrow.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
Yeah.
He just won his third, man. Sell it now.
My nephew, he pulled something crazy. It was some kind of racing card. I don't know, but it was going for like thousands and thousands of dollars. And I think I don't know if he ended up getting it, but like, yeah, he's smart enough to know not to hold on to it forever. So tonight we are going to continue our Friday the 13th reviews. Karen says, "Holy moly, that's a lot of beers there. We don't have beers."
Mm-mm.
Oh, the value of the card is worth a lot of beers.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Karen. I was like, oh no, we're not drinking tonight.
No, I got a protein shake. I got like the absolute opposite of a beer you can have.
This guy's being healthy tonight. No, but we're gonna continue our we're gonna continue our reviews of the Friday the 13th series. This will be the 7th one we've done. Is that right?
Yeah, because we've done all the odds. This is the first even.
The first even number, because we got weird with it. Since we did 2 odds in a row, we decided we're gonna knock out all the odds before we touch the evens.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. There's probably some better options on the even side. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Like I think when we finally go back and look at the grades, I think they're going to be much higher graded.
I reviewed what I graded the previous 6, and this review is going to be a little different than those.
Yeah.
So spoiler alert, I like this movie.
Right, spoiler. I mean, everybody knows it's came up a few times on here.
Yeah.
This is your favorite in the series, right?
Yeah, if not, it's close to.
It's like, like with me with part 1 and part 5, it's a coin toss. Depends on my mood,
Same with this one and another one for me.
Right. So everybody knows it's it's either your favorite or one of your favorites. So no surprise there for people. But do you remember the first time you seen this film?
I do.
When was that? Tell us about that.
This came out in '86, so it was probably around '88 on HBO.
Nice.
I stayed up really late. My mom was asleep, and I was, scrolling through channels, and that's when you had the paper TV guide.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
We didn't have that channel that had like the TV guide channel yet. That didn't come till later.
Yeah, it didn't come till later. Yep.
People don't realize that now. You just look it up on your freaking phone now. But yeah, back then, man, you had to have the paper TV guide, or you had to turn to the channel and look at their schedule. But I saw it. It was Friday the 13th, part 6, and I'd already seen probably all of them by then.
That was my next question. Where does this rank? Sean Sybil's in comments. He says TV Guide was goated. Yeah, dude. And if you lost that thing, your mom or dad was kicking your ass, man.
Yeah, they're gonna beat you with the National Geographic.
Something, yeah.
So no, but also a TV Guide. It's weird that he brought that up, and it made me think. It was very informative too back then, because we didn't have like Wikipedia and stuff.
Right.
And I remember that just learning stuff like about TVs and movies and things like that from the TV Guide. There were good articles
from the actual branded TV Guide. Yeah. But like we usually had the one that came in your Sunday paper. And then
there was that too. Yeah.
And then when I started delivering for Sun News on Thursdays, they had one. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, somewhere during the middle of the week was when their paper came out. And they had one on there. Their TV Guide was actually better than the Plain Dealer one.
I do remember that from the newspaper, man.
So then my dad, once I started doing the deliveries, he switched to that. He still got the Sunday paper, but he started to pick up that paper as well because he liked that TV Guide better.
I know if Sean Siffel's in here too, he's jealous.
He is.
He's jealous of my hat. That's for sure.
I don't think he is.
I think he is. He likes the Rays.
Oh, I thought he was a ride or die Phillies guy.
He is, but the Rays are his like AL team.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
Do I have an NL team? I don't know.
I do. It's the Cubs, man. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, it'd probably be for me too. I like the Cubs. I want to go there so bad.
Oh, it's awesome.
He says, love it. And then Charles Sherrod says this is the best Friday the 13th, but Kane is the best Jason. That is debatable.
No, that's not debatable.
No, it's definitely debatable.
Factually,
we don't feel that way.
It's factually incorrect.
Don't think it works that way.
No, man. Remember, his whole trademark is that he breathes, but he doesn't even have lungs.
That's what killed it for me because I used to be on Kane's side until Ryan hit me with that line. I was like, you know what? That's a good fucking point.
Nobody ever said that to me either. I just like deduced that on my own.
Yeah,
Like,
you came up with that on your own. Like, yeah.
I did, yeah. I say that to everyone now, though, and they look at me weird. And then they're like, damn.
Goddamn right. Like, this is the one time he's not even supposed to be breathing.
Like people that like stand Kane Hodder so hard. I drop that knowledge on him, and it's like I feel like Ron Simmons is about to walk in the room.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bill Wolf said he agrees with Charles that Kane is the best. Kane's good. Kane's good. I don't know. We did the Jason rankings. I had him like down the line a little bit. I had Ted White and Brooker over him. But I'm a big fan of the first 4 movies more so than anything. I think I had him 5th. No, I didn't because I had today's guy 5th. I had CJ 5th.
You had CJ 5th?
I think so.
Wow, I had him
Because I'm pretty sure I had number 1 was Steve Dash.
Yeah, for you, yeah.
For me. And it was real close between Brooker and Ted White, and I think I went with Ted White.
Yeah. He's my number 1.
I had CJ 4th, and I had Kane 5th.
I had CJ 3rd, and Ted White was my number 1.
Yeah.
You know who my number?
Oh yeah, and your number 2 was the shocker. It was Derek Mears.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Because you were teasing it the whole time that he was going to beat Ted White, and I was starting to buy it. That was a fun show. That was not a live show though, right? That was back on Spotify,
that's when
right?
we were still doing it on the old telephone even.
Yeah. Chris Olin says, I just watched Roadhouse. You're right, Rick. It was pretty bad. Acting was horrendous. Patrick Swayze is probably rolling over in his grave right now. No doubt, dude. No, yeah, it's bad, man. It didn't even come to theater. It's free on Amazon Prime. If I paid for it, I'd be upset.
Well, the remake? They remade it?
Yeah, it's out today. Amazon Prime.
Why remake that?
I don't know. But I watched it. Conor McGregor's in it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know you're not a Conor McGregor guy. And this will not do anything to help you.
No.
And like watching it for free, watching it once, you'll probably be okay. You know, you probably won't get upset, but it's just not a good movie. Not that the first one was a great movie, don't get me wrong, but I did like it.
But for what it was, though, it was perfect.
Yeah.
For what it was.
There's a couple things in this movie where it just doesn't. No doubt. Charles Sherrod, I was expecting Peter Griffin to walk in and kick that fuck and say, Roadhouse. They should have, there should have probably been a callback to that in there.
So who did the Terry Funk, part?
I don't know. I could only recognizable people in the whole movie to me was, Jake Gyllenhaal and, Connor.
Was he like the Terry Funk part? From the original?
No, because he was like the guy that he fought at the end. He was like the badass that came back, yeah. And but yeah, it's just not good. But yeah, but the Roadhouse Peter Griffin thing, like they should have did that. Like remember in when they finally got Juggernaut into the X-Men series?
Yeah.
And they had that little viral video going around. I'm the Juggernaut bitch.
Yeah.
And they mixed that into the movie because they knew, and everybody that movie sucked. Like not too many people liked it, but if you watch it in the theater, when that line came on, everybody popped.
Custom made my suit.
Bill Wolf says he met the guy. He's awesome, no lungs, but how he portrays him is great. Met CJ, he is also great. He's his number 2. Yeah, we met Kane recently, and he is a great guy, man. And he was really cool with my son, and my son really likes him. We've met him a couple times. He's a really good dude, and he's in a lot of stuff I like. I like the Victor Crowley. I like him as Jason. He's just not my favorite.
He's one of the absolute best ambassadors for these movies that there can be. Two of the 4 movies he was in were just dreadful though, and a lot of people would say 3 of them.
Yeah, yeah, because we're fans of Jason X, and a lot of people aren't.
So many people think it's their least favorite. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's Eminizer's least favorite.
Yeah. Sean says Ari was a great dude. He is a great dude. He's also a great ambassador for
Sean
just
met it. Sean just met him.
Yeah. And we're not going to go see him in September. We were thinking about it. We were kicking it around, but
No,
we got a better opportunity, man. We are
Right.
going 2 hours away to Monroe, Michigan, rather than 6.5 hours to Blairstown. So we will not be going to Mecca, but we will be meeting the final girl from my favorite Halloween movie. Jesus fucking Christ. Pull my Friday the 13th card now. The final girl from my favorite Friday the 13th movie, and the Jason from that movie is going to be there as well. Put Jason in quotes because he sort of played Jason because he played Jason in Dream Sequences. Tom Morgan is going to be there.
Yeah.
And we're going to have Melanie Kinnaman on the show day after my birthday, May 9th.
nice. Yeah.
Which is my brother's birthday. My brother who is a total jerk and he just sucks. We won't get into why he sucks or sucked. But he's ruined my birthday almost my whole life for different reasons. So
Not this time.
Not this time, God damn it. This time his birthday is going to be fucking awesome. Our birthday will be awesome this year. But I guess let's go ahead. The last time we did one of these reviews, I wanted to bring this up too. I went back and listened to it. Man, I fucked that review up pretty bad. Every time Ryan tried to talk, I stepped on his fucking words, and we're really trying to work out a way to do these reviews, because when we did them long form on the audio only podcast, they were kind of cool, but then we tried to bring that over here. The tempo just didn't really work right. So we're trying different things. What we tried last time didn't work. So we got to do it a little bit different than last time, but we're going to get them perfect eventually. And they get better no, they don't get better every time. So that last one was bad. That last one was probably the worst. And it was 100% my fault. So we're gonna. That's why I started with like asking you about the movie and then going from there. But then all this other sidebar stuff happened. So
Well, it didn't help though that the last Friday the 13th review that we did is the most overrated film in the franchise.
might be true.
My opinion.
That might be true. I mean, it's good and it's a fun watch, and there's no depth to it at all.
No.
There's no depth, and which is fine with these movies. You know, that you don't need that, but I mean, it's cool to have a little bit of character development. You know.
See though, like,
and we got that in spades in this one.
every other one of them, at least the first 7 of them, besides that one, moved the mythology forward just a little bit. Some more than others. 3 does not at all. It did nothing.
Yeah, if it absolutely didn't exist, you wouldn't miss anything.
Right. The only thing he gets his mask.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that really matters.
And that could happen anywhere, anytime.
Sure, beginning of 4, he could have found it.
You know, so yeah, that is true. All
So
right.
anyway,
Go ahead.
shall we get to the main event?
Let's get to the main event.
All right. This is the review for Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, 1986, Paramount Pictures, directed by Tom McLaughlin and also written by him as well. Based on characters by Victor Miller and much less so Sean S. Cunningham. And I forget it's Burns. This one was not produced by Frank Mancuso Jr., if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, but I can bring that up real quick.
I think was his name Burns, the producer on this one.
I wrote some notes, but the producer of the film was not one of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Frank Mancuso Jr. pretty much always. So, but I think he sat this one out, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm wrong, I'm gonna look foolish because this is, one of my favorites.
All cast and crew. Producer is Burns, but not spelled the way you would think. Behrns.
What's his first name?
Don Burns.
Don Burns, yeah. So Frank Mancuso Jr. did sit this one out.
Right on, yeah.
Why, I don't know. That's interesting because he comes back, doesn't he? I think he comes back.
Yeah, I never really pay attention to producers because until a conversation I had recently with Adam Marcus, I never really thought producers, and most of them don't, really do shit or bring shit to the movie.
Well, McLaughlin was awarded a lot of creative freedom in this one, which turned out to be a very good thing because dude's a creative genius, in my opinion, when it comes to this kind of shit. Maybe with a producer that didn't quite have the reputation and the stranglehold on the Friday films like Mancuso did, maybe that was a good thing for a director to not be overproduced, as it were.
So sidebar for the whole producer thing. The conversation I was having with Adam Marcus was there was somebody online that was kind of I don't know, they're talking about Sean Cunningham and what he did or didn't do in the franchise.
Yeah.
So when I went to who would know better than Adam Marcus, not anybody else I got access to, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, they have their beef or whatever, but Adam is the dude that he's gonna tell it like it is, man. He really put him over. He really put Sean over as a producer because he produced his film as well.
Yeah.
And he said, like as far as line producers, he's like one of the best, if not the best. He will make sure you get everything you need to make the movie and all this other stuff. And he went on and on and on. But that's how you know it's true, though, because if Adam's going to say it, like with the relationship he has with that guy.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm not a huge Sean Cunningham fan. That's no secret. I'm totally team Victor Miller. And
absolutely,
that's just me. I'll speak for you. That's just me.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, pound for pound, though, Sean Cunningham, when it comes to fundraising, though, which is a big job for a producer, especially that first one, man, he got some money together with nothing but a title.
Absolutely,
he pulled it off. I mean, granted, the movie was a ripoff, but still, he figured it out. And without that, we don't have any of these. So, he does have his place in the lore, and it's important. But I'm on Victor Miller's side all the way. So.
Absolutely. So Tom McLaughlin didn't do a whole lot else.
No.
He did that really cool movie that we watched, or I watched, when we did whatever year the movie came out, 85. Sometimes They Come Back. Wasn't that the name of it?
Yeah, that was like the year before this, right? Wasn't this the last thing he did before this one?
Yeah, it had to be because it was an 85. This is 86, right?
Yeah.
And that movie was 85. So yeah, it was right before this. And that was a made-for-TV movie, but I wouldn't have been mad to pay to see that in the theater. I thought it was a really good movie. I really liked it. But I didn't recognize any of his other credits at all.
No, I think I maybe seen one or two other things total, and that's like not a lot because I'm such a fan of him. I do think it's probably, if not the best, at least the second best directorial performance from all these movies.
Yeah.
And I probably would put it first because the only other one that comes close didn't write his film. He just directed it, whereas Tom did both things.
Right. And what would be the other one that you were debating?
Joseph Zito.
Joseph Zito? Right on. I think I like part one, the direction in part one myself. But I think this is definitely better though.
Oh yeah.
Definitely better.
Stylistic standpoint.
Which is so weird that he just never went on to do it. I mean, he's still in the business. He's doing something. He just never really did anything, big after that.
Wow. I was hoping they'd bring him back to write another one of these at least, even if not direct.
Oh, he has written another one.
I know
it's in the can. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
He has written a sequel to this, and it was Friday the 13th in the Snow, which we got a little taste of from our friend Vincent DeSanti.
Right. And that ties in a little bit with this movie.
Yeah, it does.
At least one of the characters, if not two of them. Yeah. So, but we'll
greetings
get to that.
From Chicago. I'm sorry. See, look, I'm already doing it. I'm going to stop. But Zigzag says, greetings from Chicago. He's up at the Days of the Dead. The DCS guys are working that. And speaking of the DCS guys, I posted on my page. I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but they got a new line of merchandise where they partnered with is it Angelo Mariana? Is that how you say his name, Zig? Awesome freaking artist. I ordered this shirt. I was the first one to get one. And if you ever seen the background on Crank's page, it's that with Sackhead Jason and Ginny, and it's like hand painted by Angelo, and he's got the original, of course, but they're putting those prints on T-shirts and different things like that, reasonably priced, and it's fucking cool shit. He said close enough. Right on. Go to the DCS page. They got it right there at the top.
I'm still got my brain on the wrestling podcast you did yesterday. I thought you were going to say Angelo Mosca.
Angelo Mosca. No Mosca. Speaking of that wrestling podcast, briefly, we had some problems getting it on. We had to put it on the horror channel, but now it's got its own page. I got a page I can go live from because I couldn't go live from the page I made from. That's all fixed up. You horror people will not be bothered with my wrestling nonsense anymore, unless you want to be. In which case, go follow that page. Back to the task at hand.
So, I really like the way he opens this film, man. This opening sequence is just top notch. The second best opening sequence in any Friday the 13th movie.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask which one was better, but I already know.
Yeah, the remake. It is.
The remake, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And a lot of cool opening sequences. I think the opening of your most hated movie is great too. Jason Goes to Hell. But,
It's not bad. Yeah, that's was one of my top 5 favorite things. When we
It
did
was. And in this movie, there are 3 people to play Jason.
Yes, there are.
And in this opening scene, we see Christopher Swift.
Yeah, a stunt coordinator and special effects guy.
Yeah. Christopher Swift in this scene. And is it Christopher Swift? I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I know I have him on a Funko.
Yeah, you got it. And also, we get a little cameo when Tommy opens the casket. It's actually Tom McLaughlin's arms.
There you go.
Yeah.
I did read that. I don't think I have it in my notes though, but yep.
Yeah.
And also for the opening sequence, that tombstone is still to this day in Tom McLaughlin's yard. Yeah. He had
I remember seeing that on a bonus feature of a DVD like so many years ago.
And it's a real tombstone. It's not like styrofoam. And somebody came to read his meter and thought somebody was buried in his backyard and wouldn't go in there.
Yeah, the dude from the gas company wouldn't go in his backyard. They had to send another tech out. That's a shoot too.
Yep, that's funny. So this movie is regarded as one of the more, if not the most campy out of the series.
Well, it's self-aware, if anything, which was a huge influence on Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson when they made Scream.
That's in my notes. Kevin Williamson said like this movie inspired him to do the Scream movies, and if I'm not mistaken, there was talks with Tom McLaughlin to direct Scream. Something.
Man, I don't know.
No, he was offered Scream.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder why he didn't do it.
I don't know. I'm glad he didn't.
I am too. It worked out just fine for everyone, but I'd still be curious to know how that played out.
Right on.
So, but yeah, the opening sequence is terrific. We get a little cameo from Horseshack.
Yeah. Who's Hoss in this, right? Hawes?
Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
fellow
pretty
nut
cool.
from the loony bin.
Yeah. Well, Ron Palillo was his name. He passed away like 10 years ago or so.
Yeah.
Maybe longer, maybe 15 years. It's been a while. Why don't we just talk about the cast, actually, since we brought him up?
Yeah, we can keep going with the cast.
We can run through the cast, man, because we don't need to do this scene by scene.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually do have it written, so I didn't forget.
Yeah, I don't have much notes on the cast, but
I just have, who's who. Obviously, we have Tommy Jarvis, played by Tom Matthews.
The third person in the series to play the character.
Correct.
Followed by, first you had Corey Feldman, and then you had, the other one's name was Tom too, right?
John Shepard.
John Shepard, yeah, John Shepard.
And I, for my money, this is my favorite Tommy. Corey Feldman is very close. John Shepard's good too. I like all 3 of them.
I like all 3 for different reasons. It's really hard for me to pick one.
But
I'm going to go with this one because he's done it twice.
Yeah. Well, Corey did it twice, technically.
Yeah, he did. All right.
So, then Tom Matthews has technically done it 3 times.
Yes, he has, because he was Never Hickel in 1 and 2.
That's right. So, yeah, he's Tommy Jarvis, and I think he's very good. And this is one of those ones, too, like when we did our Final Girl ranking, which was my first episode with you. You have the point of view, and it's hard to argue that he is the final girl, even though he's a male in this movie.
Absolutely is.
Yeah.
I think I think the last 3 movies, and we're not going to tell Melanie Kidman, but when she's on, but I think the final girl for the last 3 movies were male. I think it was Corey Feldman in 4. It wasn't Tommy in 5 though. It was Reggie the Reckless.
I disagree, but that's okay.
No, I can see the point either way, but this one is the strongest case. I would say out of the 3. That,
I think Kimberly Beck is clearly the final girl in part 4.
Right, and again, that's a matter of opinion. But in this, like, if you have that opinion, this is the one where
Yeah.
it's most prevalent. I mean, it's
Yeah, this is the one you could sway me on.
like Halloween 6. It's definitely Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, yeah.
Yeah.
This, and here's the thing about this one. Maybe this is another reason I like this one so much, is because it's different in so many ways, and that's one, is that the final girl is really a guy.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
We'll talk now about the real final girl. By textbook definition was Megan Garris, played by Jennifer Cook.
The white whale of Friday the 13th collectors.
Yeah, you ain't getting her autograph.
It just ain't happening.
You'll get Kari or Carrie Keegan before you'll get her.
Yeah.
So,
It's not happening. She's never gonna do a con. You can't mail her stuff. It's never gonna work.
yeah, because she's married to the guy who owns Celestial Seasonings Tea, and they're worth about $83 billion.
Yeah, a lot of money. A lot of money.
Yeah.
Everybody in the comments, guarantee, go in your cabinet, you'll find something from their company.
Celestial Seasonings
I don't
Tea.
even drink tea. I got some.
I have some right now.
Yeah.
So. And that just is a testament to how those guys that did that Crystal Lake Memories got her to do it. Like, that is like the first on-screen anything she did since like 1987, and she hadn't done anything since, but she sat down for an interview with them for that documentary. And I don't know how they did it.
I don't remember that part.
She's in it.
I'm sure that she is. I don't.
Yep.
You wouldn't have said she was.
Yep.
and it's new footage. It's not old footage.
Yeah, the sit-down interview with
Right
her.
on.
It's present 2013 or whenever they shot it.
Whenever they shot that, we got to get a hold of Peter Bracke, man, and find out. how
Yeah,
that worked.
I'd really like to know how they did that.
Did he have? Was he involved in the making of the film as well as the book?
I don't know, man.
I do know people that know him.
I know he directed the film, and it wasn't him. I think
No, I know. Yeah, he wrote the book.
he wrote it. Yeah, I don't think he had anything to do with the direction or production of the actual documentary.
Here's the thing, though. All the guys I know that know him are
Yeah.
all involved in that kind of business.
Sure.
So there's a good chance that he is as well. So he might have been involved in it. He might, but I still don't think it'll help us.
See, that's the thing too. And you'd be like, "Oh, that's how they got her," but no, because she hadn't been a part of the business in 30 years
Yeah.
at that time.
No, I'm not. I'm saying like he might still
I
have
know
like
what
an
you're
in
saying.
with her. Is what I meant.
I know what you're saying, but some other people would be like, "Oh, if he knows people that know people."
Oh
in the
yeah,
business."
yeah.
She's
She
not in the
retired.
business.
She
She's
retired
not
right
in the
after this.
Dude, you and I are closer to being in the film business than her.
Yeah.
She got nothing to do with it. So yeah, that's like, yeah, if anybody can get her autograph, man, I'll pay you whatever.
Yeah.
Get it
Definitely.
done.
So
So
back to the cast, and we got David Kagan, who was Sheriff Garris.
that's right. Who was Jennifer Cook's acting coach?
That's true too. Look at you. You're with all the trivia today.
Oh, I like this movie.
I
Just a
like
little
it
bit.
a lot. I like it a lot. It's
I'll tell you
most
what.
people's favorites.
I tell you
Surprising.
what,
Go ahead.
this dude played a small town sheriff perfectly.
Absolutely, he was great in the film.
Yeah, he was, man.
I really liked him, and I'm really surprised that not one person in the comments have commented that this is their favorite. We've seen a couple other people, but yeah, it's
Garris
very
was-
popular.
Yeah, Garris was great. I like his little one-liners too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's known on the books as screwing the pooch.
That's the line I was just thinking of too. So then you got Carrie Noonan.
You
who was
skipped one.
I'm going in the order they are in IMDb, but go ahead.
I want to do it in this order though.
All right, go ahead.
There's one in between. She's coming up next. You got to talk about Deputy Rick Cologne after you talk about the
And
sheriff.
that's who I was going to say first, but it wasn't next, so I went to this one. And I think he's the next most important character in the film, and he ended up reprising his role in
right?
Never Hike Alone 2, and he was great in that. He had
He
a
was,
great
man.
depth in that.
He had a big role in that film.
Absolutely.
And
And,
that's Vincent Guastafaro. Pharaoh? How do you say
Close
it?
enough.
Pharaoh?
All these Italian names that are so hard to pronounce.
Vincent. Yeah, and Vincent put him in his movie.
Yeah. So yeah, if Sheriff Garris played the perfect small town sheriff,
He was
this
the
guy
perfect
played the perfect deputy. Absolutely.
Wherever the red dot goes is mail order.
You
lazy.
bang. That thing
Back
was so
then-
phony.
Back then, even if you were a cop, small town deputy, you'd have to order that through the mail. Mail order laser scope.
All right, so who's next on your list?
Now is Carrie Noonan as Paula,
Right on.
a character that's near and dear to my heart. And I talked about this when we did our like top, like not the final girl
Not
rankings.
the final girls, yeah.
How, and it's crazy. My girlfriend actually noticed this when she, and just the first time and only time she's watched this film.
Mm-hmm.
Because we watched the first 8 together last year. I haven't had the heart to make her watch part 9 yet.
Not even when we reviewed it.
No, I care about her too much. I don't want her to leave me. No, man, but like, look at her character and what she does in this movie, and then look at the way she dies. It's so much more brutal than anybody else's kill.
Yeah, absolutely.
It seemed like a crime of passion for Jason, which is typically not in his character, but it's that motherly instinct she has with the girl Nancy, you know, and the way she's the one kind of reining in the kids and being that mother figure, and Jason sees that and just reminds him of his mother and just fucking snaps.
And real quick, since you brought up Nancy, a lot of people think that that's a nod to Nightmare on Elm Street.
No.
It is definitely not.
No.
She's named after Tom's wife,
Who's in this movie?
who's in the film, Nancy
And we'll get there.
McLaughlin, which might as well just brief. She's Tom's wife. She's Nancy McLaughlin. She's in the movie for like 2 minutes.
Plays Lisbeth.
Elizabeth, yeah. And she goes to cons and she has Elizabeth Live shirts, and she's pretty cool. She's a little eccentric, but so is Tom, so that's probably why.
She gets a couple cool lines too in the whole like 2 minutes she's in the movie, as does Tony Goldwyn, Darren, her boyfriend in the movie, who is the bad guy from Ghost.
Oh yeah, right on. I knew I recognized him from something.
My girlfriend noticed that right away because that's like Ghost is one of her favorite movies. She's just like, that's the asshole from Ghost.
So then you had Renee Jones, who was Sissy.
Yeah, who, other than Jennifer Cook, got to be the wealthiest person in this movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because she did 1,752 episodes, a 20-year run on Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, that gets paid.
The
If you're
residuals from that.
consistent, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'd say her acting career, probably the best one.
Longest, that's for sure. And then Tom Fridley, who's Court, really liked Court. He was pretty funny.
Who is John Travolta's nephew?
Yes. I knew that. I didn't. I mean, I forgot that. It's not in my notes, but I
He
did.
just started doing cons last year too.
Yeah, I seen him on a page, and I think I sent him a message to try to get him to come on, but no response. So
Let me backtrack one time too about Renee Jones.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted her for Crystal Lake Memories, and she declined.
Oh wow,
But they got
that's
Jennifer
weird.
Cook.
That is weird.
They got Jennifer Cook and not Renee Jones.
Crazy.
I want to know the answer to both of those. You know,
Yeah, like how did this happen?
Carrie Noonan, I have no idea if they even reached out to her. I guess she is a professor at some college up in, Vermont or New Hampshire, up in New England somewhere.
Karen says, "Dang, you guys know a lot. That's why I watch to learn." Well,
And there's really only one more person left from, the
all this
cast.
and $1 still won't get you a cup of coffee.
Well, actually, there's 2 people left that
Darcy DeMoss.
that's right, Nikki.
And this is the only Friday the 13th film without nudity.
It is.
And with her scene, there's like footage or pictures of like Tom McLaughlin doing her part.
Yeah.
Is it without his shirt? And speaking of which, though, in her actual scene, Court, if you notice, his shirt was up where you could see his nips, and I think that was because of the whole like they're not doing nudity, and she was supposed to be in 5, right?
Yeah.
But they wanted her to do nudity, and she wouldn't do it, and I think that was like a callback to that.
Yeah, and she's awesome.
Yeah, she's really cool.
She's like that, and it's not a bad thing too. She's like that stereotypical 80s chick.
Mm-hmm.
She's hot, she's good lines, and she's a hell of a follow on social media too.
Wasn't she in Bob Heckman's movie?
I don't think so.
I thought she was.
If so, I forget, but I don't think so.
Right on.
I think I would have remembered that. But yeah, Darcy's great. She does cons.
She has done fan films because she did Vengeance.
Okay, she's very friendly too.
Yeah, she's really cool. But is that it for the cast then?
Oh, C.J. Graham is Jason Voorhees.
Jesus Christ! You know we've done this before. One time we're going through the cast and we just totally dismissed. I think it was Kane. But so C.J. was in he was in that other horror movie that I watched recently with Ben Stiller and everybody was in it. What was the name of that movie? He plays the Hell Cop.
Oh,
Highway to Hell? Is that the name of the movie?
I don't think I've seen it.
It's good, man. I think you'll like it.
Yeah.
It's really cool, man. It was on Tubi when I watched it. And it was from 85, yeah, because it was when we did the year 85. And yeah, CJ, one of 3 people to play Jason in this movie.
Yeah, the other one was Dan Bradley.
Speaking of CJ, let me go to my little pictures here while you could start whatever you're gonna talk about next.
Yeah, Dan Bradley just shot the daytime scenes.
Yeah, bitch,
like a day or two worth, and the paintball scene mainly.
And he was so freaking fat.
Yeah,
we got this.
Anytime it's daylight and you see Jason, it's Dan Bradley. At night, it's CJ.
Yeah, and they seen the dailies for the first time, and they was like, "No, we got to get somebody else." It's like, this isn't working. But for the ladies, here's an old picture of CJ. That before he was Jason, he was a Chippendales dancer. He's the one in the middle. In case you didn't know, he was also a Marine, right? Is it a Marine?
It was.
I know, or once a Marine, always a Marine, as they say.
And that dude is almost 70 and he's still jacked.
He's jacked to the gills. Like he was in 13 Fanboy, and he was just giant in that too.
He was. It was a nice little fight scene too. He had
him and Vinny.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So yeah, that's the cast, man, and it's one of my favorite casts. It's not my favorite cast overall, but it's one of my favorite casts as a whole in these movies. It's definitely in the top 3.
Right
So,
on. And see, and Tom McLaughlin, he's a giant Universal Films fan, and that's why in the opening of the movie we get the Frankenstein. See, I was in some groups they're bringing up your favorite your favorite Frankenstein movie, and I always answer Jason Goes to Hell. But yeah, so he did the whole, brought him back with electricity like Frankenstein, which was a nod to Frankenstein.
Very gothic like look and feel.
Absolutely, which the opening he stole from several Universal films.
Yeah. And and he's made this point in the past. If you put that opening scene in like black and white and watch it, it still looks good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's like what he was going for.
Mm-hmm.
So, although the only thing that would be kind of weird would be their clothes would be a little not right for black and white.
So, one more thing about this opening scene. Well, 2 more things I'm sure we're going to talk about. But in the opening scene, the theme that's playing, Dies Are is the name of it. It was the main theme for The Shining.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's weird. But there's that, and of course, the final thing for the opening scene was how it started with the nod to James Bond, the James Bond thing. That was really cool.
I loved it, man, because again, there's a sense of humor in this movie, and like that's the way they said. He's like, "Can I make it funny?" He said, "Yeah, just don't make fun of Jason."
Absolutely,
and they didn't,
and it worked.
Yeah.
Gina Rawson says, "Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Well, we just finished the opening scene of the movie, so you're not that late."
No, we're not going to go.
And we're not going to go through the whole movie anyway.
Yeah.
And we're already 45 minutes in, and we just barely got. It's as long as it's taken us to get to this movie and really get into it. The movie is the shortest film in the series at 86 minutes.
Is it really?
That's what somebody told me the other
Part
day.
2 is not shorter than that?
No, 86 minutes. I'll check right now, but you can go on to your next topic if you wanted to.
I always thought Part 2 was the shortest for whatever reason.
I know it's really short.
Yeah.
Because that's why we decided to watch that in Blairstown, because they were like really, when they were screening the movie for the minicon, because they were running out of time.
Which was awesome.
87 minutes for Part 2.
Oh,
But if you take out that giant section of part 1,
yeah.
it's easily the shortest.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's a short. It's not even a feature film.
And then you have that 7 or 8 minute scene with Alice too in the beginning, which is new footage, but
Yeah.
still, you know, just from basically when you see Pack and Neck for the first time to the end, it's like an hour.
Yeah.
You know, it's still a great hour, but it's an hour nonetheless. So, but yeah, getting back to 6 now, we were talking about how it's different, you know, than all the others. There's no nudity. It's the only one. It's a final boy, technically, and not a final girl. It's the only one. And also, it's the only one with actual kids that go to the camp.
That is true as well, and that introduced a whole nother dynamic to the movie, because in the movie there's usually a group of 8 to 10 people that are all at jeopardy, but now these people are still at jeopardy, but they have to worry about these children that can't really do anything. And those kids, the 2 boys, they stole the show.
They did.
I'd love to meet them at a con.
And they are brothers.
They are brothers, okay.
Not twins, obviously, but they're brothers. You know.
So what were you gonna be when you grew up?
Yeah, and that look he gives them though, like when he says that. It's so good.
There was that line, and there was another one that just escapes me. But
what do you think? I think we're dead meat, dude.
so good.
It is.
And they were smart enough to not have Jason kill the kids,
right?
You know, which was cool. And the reason a lot of people think is because, you know, Jason, he was related to the kids as he was a kid at that same camp, and he died because of other people's negligence.
Yeah. Jason will kill a dog, but he won't kill the kids.
That was never proven that he killed that dog, number 1. And number 2, according to Kane Hodder, Jason would not kill a dog. He wouldn't even kick a dog. Yeah. So of course he would. Well, man, he might kill it to eat though.
Yeah.
He needed to eat.
In part 2, he needed to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, so he might have eaten Muffin.
By part 8, he wasn't eating anymore.
And that is implied, because the scene right after Muffin is the hot dogs on the grill. So yeah. It is implied.
Yeah.
All right, maybe he did kill the dog and eat the dog. Okay.
I'm pretty sure he did. I actually read that part 2 book on the airplane the other day.
There you go. R.G. Henning's book. I'm sure it's in there. Yeah. I'm going to go back to that and check it out later.
According to him, Muffin was turned into some meat muffins. So
I know Muffin's dead. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Muffin's dead, so is Paul. But okay, but we're talking about 6. So in this movie, 18 people died.
Yeah, lots of kills.
One of the pretty high kill count. I think it was the same as 5, right? 5 was 18.
I think 5 might have had one more.
Yeah.
Or it could have been the same. I'm not sure.
You know what? I think 5 had 21, but 2 of them were killed in a dream, and one of them was something else that really didn't happen. But yeah.
Well, it's got to count though, because in Nightmare on Elm Street, almost everyone's killed in a dream.
But they die in real life as well.
Yeah.
So it's a little different.
No, I remember Tom McLaughlin said this. He wanted there to be 13 kills.
Yeah.
But they made him shoot more footage.
They added stuff because the caretaker at the cemetery was not going to die.
And then the 2 couple having sex in the woods too from the same scene.
Yep.
It was all shot. So maybe it's 16 kills then.
It's 18.
Is it 18? I always thought CJ signed it 16 kills or whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 18. Okay. But those are 3 extras, and quite possibly there's some other ones that weren't supposed to be in there. Like maybe his wife wasn't supposed to die.
So what's your favorite kill in this movie?
My favorite kill in the movie. What is my favorite kill? Is this the one from where he slams the guy's head and like leaves the smiley on the tree? Is that this movie? That might be it, because I really dig that one.
A lot of people hate that one.
A lot of people hate that one?
A lot of people hate that kill.
I love it because it's so corny and tongue in cheek, and yeah, I like it. Sheriff Garris is a really good one.
That's my favorite.
Oh boy,
back broken, snapping backwards like that.
And I hear that there's much more footage of that makes it better somewhere else.
I've seen it. It's really cool.
Sheriff Garris is cool, and his wife and her boyfriend with the whole American. She's trying to bribe him and then you got the American Express card. Don't leave home without it. That was a big thing at the time. Yeah,
Fence post kill. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
pretty sweet.
yeah. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good ones.
The triple decap
Yeah.
is also cool. With Anne Ryerson.
yeah.
Anne Ryerson, famous stage actress, and then also she was on Curb Your Enthusiasm for years. She played Funkhauser's wife.
Nice. So it's always been my goal to get a head that was used in a movie. The Bloody Essentials podcast, they just had that as a thing on one of their pages. If you could have any prop for any movie, and of course my answer was Pam's head, but I'll take any head. I mean that's what he said, but yes.
If you could have any prop from any Friday the 13th movie, you'd take Pam's head.
Pam's head, and
from part 2 on the table.
I think from part 2. Yeah. Part one sold for like $10,000.
I'll tell you what happened to that head from part 2. Do you know?
No.
They left it behind for the guy that owned that Camp Kenaway
That's
or whatever.
true, yes.
And he has it.
Yeah, I remember.
Or had it. That's 40 years ago, and he was an older guy, so I'm sure he's probably not alive anymore. So I don't know what he did with it, but that's where it went.
That's where it went, and God knows where it went now.
But that would be your choice out of anything from any of these movies? Like
any from any of these
one
movies,
single prop?
That's it, yeah.
Man, that's a tough one for me. I think I'd have to go with the hero mask from part 4.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Does that exist?
Somewhere somebody has it.
Because I know the ones from part 3, there was 3 of them, and only one of them exists. Nick Castle ended up with it. No, not Nick Castle. Dick Warlock.
I was gonna say Nick Castle. That's so weird.
Dick Warlock. Well, that's why I thought Nick Castle was at the Michael Myers deal.
Really?
But Dick Warlock ended up with it because they used the same mask in 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, the hero mask. Yeah.
And so yeah, if that's the mask you're talking about, he has it. And the way he got it is he did some stunts in 5. Didn't even know that until recently. And him and Tom Morga, really good friends, because Tom Morga also was he did stunts for Michael Myers, and gave it to him on the set, and the rest is history. And I think he may have sold it since.
See, that's an inanimate object. That's a prop. But if I could pick anything, yeah, I better not say. Just Debbie Sue Voorhees as she was in 1985.
There you go. That's funny.
I'm sure that I wouldn't be the only person making that choice.
Here, Sean's got something here. It says, Tom Morga was in Suburban Commando with Hulk Hogan. I did not know that.
I did know that, but I forgot.
I got to figure out what he did in there. Maybe get him to sign something from that when we see.
I think it was Sean that told me that, because he's met Tom Morga. That I know.
He said way earlier in the comments.
Yeah.
So, the movie, like we pretty much covered everything.
Pretty much, man, and we've all seen this. It is formulaic, but so are all the other ones that are good in this franchise.
Yeah, for sure. And
he stuck to the same basic formula, but he put his own signature on it, McLaughlin.
Yeah.
McLaughlin, and made it his own. And that's why I think it worked so well, because he didn't stray too far and go crazy and try to do something totally off the wall like in 8 or 9. He kept the formula and just added he added some seasoning to the already existing recipe, if that makes sense to you.
Right, and he brought it back to the actual camp, which is a big deal in these movies. You need the summer camp aspect.
And I like how they it's the same camp, everyone knows it, although they renamed it because of the traumatic events or whatever. And it's like the big thing about town is all the older people know, but they want to shelter the young people from it, kind of like Freddy's, the secret of Freddy.
Which they ended up doing a Freddy versus Jason, which that was one of the cool parts about that movie. Yeah,
for sure, man. So I like just about everything about this movie, man.
So what don't you like about it? Do you want to do that first?
Yeah, we can do my top 5
favorites. We got to do the top 5 and if we ever sell T-shirts, that's going to be incorporated into one of them.
And I kind of cheated, man. I do have my top 5 favorite things.
Yeah.
But my bottom things, there's only really one thing I dislike about this movie.
Okay, I had a feeling when we brought this up earlier that you were not going to have 5 things you didn't like.
I have a bottom 1.
Bottom 1. Okay, so what is it?
And it's a nitpick.
Which you need in this film, because this film for a slasher flick is almost perfect.
So my least favorite thing, singular, not plural,
Mm-hmm.
about this movie is the vignette when Tommy's studying up on the occult and things to try to figure out a way to defeat him. They rushed right through it.
They did.
Yeah.
And I was gonna touch on that a couple minutes ago when we were kind of wrapping up the review portion. Like I was gonna talk about how they killed Jason, and like they never really explained why this works and how the fuck he figured it out.
If
Should have been something more there.
they should have at least spent a couple minutes. Like you said, the runtime was so short.
Yeah, you had time.
Throwing 2-3 minutes in on this, man, would have seriously. Movie's great as it is, don't get me wrong, would have put the cherry on top of an already delicious sundae. That's all.
That's it.
And that is like the one nitpick I have, man. There's really not anything else I like about it. People are like, oh, there's no tits. Well, I like that because it stands out. And there's kids at the camp. I like that because it stands out. Like this, it's again, it's formulaic. It is a Friday the 13th movie, has that feel, but it's so much different.
And there there's reasons for all that too. And like I don't know, it's one of Ricky's favorites because he doesn't like it when the girls show their tits. You know, he's 9 or whatever he is. You know, so he doesn't like that kind of stuff.
Nope, not yet.
But, I was okay with it. I was okay with the. You know, I don't think you need nudity in movies.
No.
I really don't. Don't. If it's there and it's cool, you know, maybe. But I don't think it's ever needed. I don't think it's ever necessary.
I think this movie proved that case and then some, that you don't need it. So I'm going to break into my top 5.
Go ahead.
All right. My
Number
top
5.
My top 5 favorite.
Still haven't gotten the sounder yet.
Jason Lives. Number 5 is the opening scene, and we already talked about that a lot.
Yeah, we spent most of the podcast on it. Yep.
Yeah,
we
the
really
gothic
did.
feel, the black and white touch, the universal monster, like mosaic, the whole, just the setup.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. You have to reanimate him somehow, and I think they did it right. My number 4 favorite thing, and we touched on this too, the self-awareness and the humor aspect, which is also different than all the other ones. Until Jason X, they bring that back for that.
Mm-hmm.
But up until then, the first like 9 movies, it's really the only one with like self-aware humor.
Yeah.
And it helped spawn Scream, which is insanely successful franchise that's made how much money?
As you said, they made jokes and they made things funny, but they didn't make Jason funny.
No, they didn't make Jason.
And like, I do like all the later Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but after 2, he was a comedian.
Yeah.
And they weren't scary anymore.
No, that even though there was all this humor and whatever going around, Jason was still a threat the whole time.
Absolutely.
And everyone was afraid.
Yeah.
So, as long as you don't lose that focus, you're good. And I think they blended the horror comedy
Did a great job with that.
perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3 overall favorite thing is the cast, and I'm not just going to pick one person. I'm going to say the ensemble.
Absolutely.
Everyone, especially, I do have 4 names though. CJ Graham.
Yeah.
Jason, I loved. He's the
Absolutely.
best. He's the best non-living Jason, my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Darcy DeMoss, who we talked about already.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Matthews and Carrie Noonan,
Mm-hmm.
who I want her autograph too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that won't be as hard as Jennifer Cooks.
No. Yeah, no. They as much as 3 made us not really care about anybody, this one made us care about many people.
Yeah, and again, I think there's definitely one.
With a much bigger cast too,
and probably a second that I like the cast a little bit better, but this one's great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all the performances were good. Nobody was bad. Like
the acting was great for a
slasher movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just the counselors as they were. Rick Colon was perfect.
Absolutely.
This is the bumbling deputy, and David Kagan's acting is some of the best in the whole series, I think.
Yeah.
So for what he was.
Right.
My number 2 favorite thing, and we haven't even talked about this yet, but you knew it was going to be way up there, is Harry's score.
Harry's score, and then you had a little Alice Cooper in there too.
Yeah, that's great too. We didn't even touch on that.
He had 2 songs in the movie.
3.
3? Yes, it was 3.
Yeah, Feed My Frankenstein, Hard Rock Summer, and then Man Behind the Mask.
Right on.
And, I think Harry's score in this one,
go ahead.
is the second best one he ever did.
So what would be the first?
No,
One?
part one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And sidebar of Alice Cooper. He was involved with this movie and the sixth installment of Nightmare on Elm Street. He acted in that as Freddy's stepdad.
That's right. He had the cameo in the yeah.
He wouldn't do it if they wanted him to be like Alice Cooper. He didn't want to do it.
No,
which is cool. So that's pretty cool. He's one of the very few people that were involved in both of those franchises.
Yeah, the score in this one, they reused a lot of it in part 7 as well.
Mm.
It was just so good. And then obviously Harry didn't return in 7. So half of the music in 7 is recycled from this and some of the older films, but mainly this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have some of the music, which is but it's not Harry.
And speaking of the music, you have one of the coolest autographs that came by accident of this.
And it is part 6.
When we met Harry, he got a CD signed by him, and Harry signed it with a blue marker, but the blue wouldn't show up if you see our background on the screen, it kind of just blended. So Harry, being the artist that he is, signed over it with a white paint pen, and the white mixed with the blue, and it's unlike nobody else has this autograph like this.
No.
And it's awesome.
It's in my desk drawer right now.
Yeah.
But not at this house, at the other house.
Right, so we can't pull it out to show you. But trust me,
I'll put a photo up on the page.
Right on. There you go.
But yeah, I do. I probably do have one of the more unique Harry Manfredini autographs.
And he still did the whole bit with the score. What was that called? A score? The little musical notes and stuff, you know?
Yeah, the bars. Like, it's one of the coolest Friday autographs, for sure.
Oh, yeah, it's my favorite. And yours being so unique adds to it.
Right. And, if you have any movie poster other than 8, his signature belongs on it.
Mm-hmm.
So just because he's part of all of them.
He's part of all of them.
Yeah.
So, number one.
Number one, favorite thing about this film is the direction. And we've been talking about that, just the overall feel and atmosphere of everything. It was funny. It was scary. It pulled you right in. And only 86 minutes. I mean, it didn't feel padded anyway because it was so short. They could have made this film 2 hours and it wouldn't have dragged.
Absolutely.
I don't think so.
And I like how, like we were talking about briefly part 2, how like when Muffin died and then the next scene is the hot dogs on the grill. It had some things like that in this. Like with I don't remember what happened in the previous scene, but then they go back to the kids and they're all like, yeah.
Oh, what does he think? I'm a fart head? Yeah. We didn't talk about Marvin. Well, we talked about it for one.
We talked about getting killed unnecessarily. He was just added to the thing. What do you think? Before we wrap this up and everything, there was talk about Elias Voorhees being involved in this. Do you think that would have been a positive or a negative?
If they would have did it the way that Tom McLaughlin wanted to do it, and I've read about it and seen their special features on the Blu-ray about it, I think it would have been okay if they would have did it that way. But if the studio would have got involved and whatever, maybe not. Again, Frank Mancuso Jr. didn't work on this one. So maybe in retrospect, it was probably a good thing they didn't delve into that, because that's something that they'd probably have to stick with going forward somehow, somewhere.
Yeah, I think if they would have, and if I'm not mistaken, what they wanted them to do was pay Marvin for the taking care of the and then that would have been it with them, and which would have been cool, because it would have been cool to wonder what else he was, more so than have people go into what he was. But they would have not been able to do that, like you said. They would have brought him back in some way that probably made no goddamn sense.
I think it's a very cool idea, but I am glad in retrospect they didn't go forward
because of where it would have went afterwards.
Right now,
I get it.
We get that Pamela prequel series. We can meet Elias there.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have to in that. But
yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that will make a lot more sense to bring them into that.
So that was your top 5 things and your bottom 1 things for a grand total of 6, and this is a 6th film.
Yeah.
What do you grade the film? And we grade things on a scale of A to F.
Yeah. And for every genre, there's 1 A+ and 1 F-, and everything else in between. There could be many Fs, there could be many As. There can only be 1 A+ and 1 F- for each genre, and this is slasher, not horror. This is slasher.
Yeah, the subgenre. Of
My
slasher.
F minus for slasher films.
We
It's
seen
part
it.
of
We seen it. We were there, man.
It's part of the
We
series.
might gotta go home.
I'm saying though, it is part of the series.
Yeah.
So any other slasher film we review will not get the F minus grade.
Yeah.
That's done. The A plus grade is not in this franchise, but Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, and I've never done this yet, is an A.
Is an A. I was gonna say because I don't have record of what I've graded things, what you've graded things. I can't remember that stuff. I'm going to get like sometime soon. I'm gonna get all this stuff written down so we have like where I can quickly go to it. I'll have it like right here on the side of the desk where you guys can't see, but right there.
Well, I'll tell you this though. That's the first A I've given out on here.
So, have I given out an A? I have, right?
You have. I've given out A minus.
I think I've given out 2.
I think I've given out 2 A minuses before, but this is a straight A.
I'm gonna have to go back and check the records, but I think I gave part 1 an A. I know I gave part 1 an A.
You did,
and I believe I gave 5 an A, but I might have given it a B plus.
I think you gave that one a B plus.
All right. Man,
I gave that
made
one
such a good case for this that it's really hard for me to give it anything but an A. It really is. I mean, I can't find anything wrong with it. No, it's not going to win any Oscars, but none of these movies ever do. And we're going to talk about that on a future podcast. I got an idea for that, like horror movies that like really needed to be an Oscar, needed to win Oscars, and like your Psychos, maybe your Exorcists, and
I mean, if
New Godzilla.
And I know we still have your grade to go. I just want to say though, horror movies should be in consideration at least in the special effects categories.
Absolutely.
How
is it not a category for stuntmen?
Yeah, that too.
It's such a big part of movies, special effects.
Stunts, best special effects,
Absolutely.
So, Tom Savini should have got an Oscar for part 4.
Yeah, probably, for sure. Or, but yeah, so I'm going to, like, you talked me into it. I wasn't going in with an A because it's not my favorite film in the series.
Oh, I know, but
it's up there.
Yeah.
And I like to grade from a critic's perspective. I'm not a very critical guy. I see things better than most people most of the time. I get that. But I'm not grading it at how much I like it or dislike it. And I'm grading it just on the way the movie was made, the direction of the movie, the acting in the movie, so on and so forth. I can't find any plot holes to punch in this. I'd say it was an A, but this. I don't have a but this in this. I'm gonna give it an A as well.
All right.
So this will be the first movie that got 2 A's.
I don't think it will be the last.
I don't think it'll be the last. No, it definitely won't be the last. But
or at least in that territory, though.
Although it'll be the last in this series, maybe.
See, now you did mess me up though, because there's only been twice where I graded a movie higher than you, and I was pretty sure this was going to be the third one, but still just happened twice. Do you remember which ones those were?
I don't because I got such a shitty memory.
The first one was Hellraiser. You gave it a B plus. I gave it an A minus.
Yeah.
And the second one, I believe it was the same grades. I think you gave They Live a B, and I gave it an A minus.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right on. Sean says he can't wait for the part 4 review. Well, that was in consideration for this. We were going to do 4X or 6, and so at the moment we came up with the idea to do this, 6 was the easiest. It involved the less because
Yeah.
So that's why we went with 6.
I think we're going to go a different way, though, on the next poll.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was a love fest. It turned into 2 A's. I mean, and part 4, I know it's not your favorite either, but I know you like it.
You like it a lot.
No, I like it a lot.
I don't know if there's any of I think there's only one of the even numbers I don't like.
I know.
And I don't want to say I don't like it because I do like it, but I like it the least for sure.
I think we need to put 4 on the back burner, though. Just my opinion.
Sean, you gotta wait.
I think in the next poll, we should have either 12 or 8.
So 12 is the remake.
Yeah. Or 8. Or 10.
Oh no, yeah. There's one 8. I forgot about 8. I was thinking Freddy versus Jason. We did that already. That's an odd number. Right?
11. Yeah.
That's 11. So 12, 8, and
10.
12
8, 10, 12. Let's
8, 10, 12. That's
6.
it.
2 and 6 are going to be very similar to this review, I think.
So we want to put a buffer in between them.
Yeah.
So we'll do that, and we don't have a plan for next week yet. I don't think, right?
Do we?
We got a couple shows coming up. We have Bob Elmore, and we have we have Melanie Kinnaman, which we announced on the page.
May 9th. Yeah.
So excited about that. That's a little bit off, but I think the only thing that that's on the books right now is those two. And
Still waiting for RG to reschedule too.
Yeah. I haven't heard back from him.
Yeah.
So where is this? I gotta see. Having all these pages now, it's hard to. When it was just two, going back and forth, it's a lot easier.
Next week too, just for a few minutes, I want to put a little 5-minute baseball preview in.
Yeah, we could do that, especially if we have nobody to interview or anything. And I don't think April 4th is Bob Elmore,
April 4th.
which is not next week.
It's the week after.
The week after.
Bob Elmore from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Yeah, so we will come up with something for next week. We might do another one of these. I do not know. It's possible. But all of you guys that are still watching and haven't done so already, go over to the Dive and check out Charles Sherrod. I think he's doing an episode on remakes tonight. I didn't really get to see. That's why I don't have it on the scroller at the bottom, because I wasn't sure exactly what he was doing, and I because it's on his website now. So hey, thanks, Bill. Bill says nice show. So we're gonna get out of here, and we will be back next week at 8:00. If you guys like wrestling, go over to the wrestling page. I invited a bunch of my friends. If you're friends with me, that invite there. Check that out, share that, like it, and that will get better than it was yesterday. Because if you watch any bit of yesterday sucked.
That's
so
weird
bad.
too, because I finally had time as I'm on vacation, and I watched the whole thing.
You watched the whole thing?
I watched the whole fucking thing.
Thanks, Karen. Karen says great show.
I don't
know.
I
thought it really went good.
I finally do, and you're like, it's our worst show.
Yeah. So real quick though, this review went better than part 3. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Before I even go back and listen to it, because when I went back and listened to that, I was like, this is so. I was just cutting you off every 2 seconds, and the best was at the end. You just. You had a thing all ready to go, and just
I was a prosecutor giving a closing statement.
Yeah, I know. And
why part 3 really isn't that good. And a lot of people want to skin me for that. But,
yeah, so the review wasn't that good, just like the movie isn't that good.
It's not a bad movie, man. But out of all the OG Paramounts, and we're gonna rank these as soon as we're done.
Oh, it won't be last. It won't be.
Of course it won't. It won't be last.
Not even of those 8.
But it's not going to be anywhere near first either.
Yeah.
So,
if just about first 8, I can easily say it's 7.
it's at least going to be 7 out of
out of the first 8. It's 7.
Well, I did grade it a C-, which is the same grade I gave to part 7. But
but the ranking is going to be different for me at least than the grades.
Mine might differ here and there, but overall it'll be pretty close. But some of these films are going to have the same grade.
Because I like movies that aren't good. So
I know,
and I like them better than movies that are good sometimes.
See, I like part 5 a lot. But I'd be hard pressed to call it a good movie. But I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
See, and I said this, the last time, and I've watched it since again too. Part 5 is just basically a collection of just scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they really don't even flow together.
And this movie is one of the ones where there's a complete thought that went out there and from start to finish. Whereas 5 was this had less gore and less tits, none anyway. And 5 was let's get as much gore and as much tits as we can in this thing.
So they blew the proverbial load in that one. So they have nothing left.
You need a palate cleanser in this one.
See, and that's the thing too. I don't have their name in front of me right now, and I don't know this. Whoever edited part 6, A+ to you.
Right on.
For the editing job, because it flows together great. Like I said though, other than that one little vignette of him studying up on those occult books, they just kind of glossed that over.
But it definitely added a lot to it.
Yeah, but man, the potential if they would have beefed that up just a little bit, but it's still an A.
Yep, absolutely. So, anything else you want to add today before we get out of here?
Yeah. 4, 5, 6, like you said, probably the best horror trilogy ever, and this caps it off.
Yeah.
Glad to be back.
It's
Glad
kind of crazy
to-
how they were able to use a different Tommy in all three of them, and it never really bothered you. Like
No.
usually when they change a character in a movie, I mean, it's like Kristen in Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yeah, that bothered me.
right?
Yeah.
You know, and her part didn't even matter, but it's still, you know, you couldn't get past it.
It didn't matter in part 4. In part 3, it mattered very much.
No, yeah, but
I think that's too just a testament to how good of an actress Patricia Arquette turned out to be too.
that too.
Like you could see it right away. That was her first film.
Mhm.
You could already see, wow, this girl can act.
Like she ain't coming back. She ain't doing this shit no more.
No, you know, Tuesday night, you know,
Got the part because she was banging the director.
is that a fact?
That's a fact. Well, I don't know. I do know she was banging the director. Whether or not that's the reason she got the job, I cannot guarantee you that, but I would say it's likely.
Is that Rennie Harlan that's directed for?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. I know he was like homeless.
Right on. No,
When he got the
Never
job.
Sleep Again. It was on. They were talking about it on there,
Ugh.
which is free
Yeah.
on Tubi if you want to watch it. If you haven't.
I don't think Tuesday night's terrible, but you know, Patricia Arquette, she is not.
Right on.
So, and that, I mean, look at the resume since then, you know. Anyway, yeah, that's enough, man. We've been talking almost hour 20.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll figure something out cool for next week. And until then, there goes the neighborhood.